presented by RBC Wealth Management, proud partner of Major League Soccer, and you're honing in on the Mexican superstars.
Yeah, you might know this guy right here. Hector Herrera has been so good for this club. His first full season with Houston, and he is back in full force. 4 goals, 18 assists on the season for this legend. Finding a way to pick out the pass, staying home a little bit more, not as much the box-to-box, but watch out for that diagonal ball as well. Alan Pulido for Sporting Kansas City, MLS Comeback Player of the Year, putting in the goals for this club, leading the line, doesn't have to make a lot of movement, but he's efficient in his movement. You got to keep an eye on him at all times. Ben Olsen called him a 9.5.
Those were the players to watch, presented by RBC Wealth Management, a proud partner of Major League Soccer. So the scene is set. Shell Energy Stadium in downtown Houston, the venue tonight, and the prize enormous. Both Houston and Kansas City want to book their place in the Western Conference Final, and we've got kickoff coming your way next.
Meet the Chevy ZR2 family. They'll never let you down. With features like DSSV dampers, MT tires, and an off-road performance in Silverado HD ZR2 family of trucks.
If working hard is essential to get where you want to be, you need something that gets you going and keeps you going on the path to your true potential. You need a spotter, a running mate, a loyal companion. You need Celsius. Every drop is essential. Celsius, essential energy.
Ilie can win MLS Cup with this kick.
Game on the line. How do I make the smart choice? I remember what's worked and what hasn't. This goalie knows exactly where I'm going to shoot. He's smart, but hesitant. I'm not, or I'm right, all in. So let it fly.
Yes! What a smart choice by Ilie!
Continental, the smart choice in tires.
Domina la pelota, la pincha hacia el área para Carraquilla, la baja bien de cabeza, la tiene Herrera, pecho de fina, le pegó de zurda, gol. ¡Gol!
Back post, swatted away, out in front! Amin Bassi to the rescue! Dorsey, he does it!
Se puede decir que es el rival del Sporting Kansas City.
Here's Pulido, Ndembe's coming forward, he has space, Ndembe!
Reactions are on point from Gadi Kinda.
Oh, what a goal!
Kinda, servicio remate!
Sporting Kansas City has advanced to the conference semifinals.
How will I know where to start? Striving for more isn't just for the field, it's for life. How will I know? I'm asking you to know about these things. Know more with RBC Wealth Management.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road, as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters.
Everything you don't want to believe exists. Holy. If you want to save millions of lives, we can use some help.
There are trucks, then there's the truck, GMC Sierra. Available with the V8 engine. The Super Cruise hands-free driving experience. And of course, the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. Not just any truck, the truck.
This is the head-to-head presented by GMC. We are professional grade. Moments away from kickoff here between Houston and Sporting Kansas City. Two sides that have been to the summit before. Former MLS Cup champions looking to rediscover the glory days, and they're not far away, knowing 3 victories, and they'll be hosting MLS Cup once again. Houston fans raring to go. Raucous atmosphere here at Shell Energy Stadium. What a first season it's been for Ben Olsen. 2 years away from MLS coaching. Olsen said he's returned rejuvenated with a newfound energy, and that's resulted in Houston's best season in over a decade. And legendary Sporting Kansas City coach Peter Vermes, 15th season at the helm. Playoffs in 11 of the past 13 years. He's the only man to win MLS Cup as a player and as a coach. Kindred de St. Aubin, the scene is set. What a match we've got in store.
Yeah, and you can just feel the stadium is pulsating right now. Houston Dynamo fans have been longing to get back to the postseason. Here they find themselves in the Western Conference Semifinal. As for Sporting Kansas City, weren't sure if they were going to be here at this point when they started the season 10 winless. They're here now. They're on quite the run. It's going to be a big match here tonight.
Cincinnati and Columbus secured their place in the Eastern Conference Final last night. We've got a doubleheader in store here on Apple TV tonight. Will it be Houston or Sporting Kansas City? And in the nightcap, a little MLS After Dark takes us to Seattle as the Sounders will tackle the reigning MLS Cup champs LAFC.
You think that one's going to be crazy?
Tim Melia, inspirational, as is this man, the talisman for Houston, Hector Herrera. Our referee tonight, Guido Gonzalez Jr., all set to get us underway from Shell Energy Stadium. Here we go. Kickoff in the first of tonight's Western Conference Semifinals. Houston hosting a side reborn this season. Sporting Kansas City resurrected in their own right after a disastrous start, which you alluded to, Kindra, without a win in their opening 10 games. Both teams enter in sensational form, set to write the latest chapter in this storied rivalry. This the 6th postseason meeting between Houston and Kansas City. Kindra, a lot of talk about momentum coming into this game, and both coaches quick to point out the break, the international break, and how the start of this game is so crucial.
Yeah, and I think the first 10 or 15 minutes, Ben Olsen said, look, every time you play a game, the first 10 or 15 minutes takes a little bit to settle down. This is going to be exceptional because it's a playoff game, because of the rivalry in the postseason between these two clubs, and both teams just itching to get back on the pitch after that layoff.
Strong challenges already in this game. It really is a pleasure and honor to have you with us. Kevin Egan alongside Kindred de St. Aubin and our entire Apple TV crew. Wherever you're watching from, sit back and enjoy this doubleheader this evening.
And already you can see Griffin Dorsey on that right-hand side all the way up over the halfway line, really pushing the limits there. He told us this week, look, if I'm on the attack, they've got to defend. I don't have to defend. He wants to be on the front foot against his left-hand side for Sporting Kansas City. He wants to push the envelope for Houston Dynamo.
And how fascinating is that side of the field now that Logan Ndembe is not part of Sporting Kansas City's plans after tearing his ACL. In comes Tim Leibold, who's been away for 71 days, Kindra, with a groin injury.
Yeah, and it was interesting talking to Peter Vermes this week for that exact reason, just saying, like, look, I've got 3 options on that left-hand side in the left-back position. He named Leibold third because he just wasn't sure from a game fitness perspective, doing what he could in training, of course, testing him to see how he felt after each training session, kind of ramping up to the game. But Griffin Dorsey's got to be licking his chops knowing that Leibel does not had any game action in quite some time.
Griffin Dorsey, Colorado native, was the man that stuck the dagger in against RSL in the last round from the penalty spot in the shootout. Here's Sporting Kansas City captain Johnny Russell, weaving in and out. It's still Russell. Johnny Russell with the hit, parried by Clark, grabs it. A second chance.
Escobar with a little bit of a wake-up call. Johnny Russell here, bad turnover. Johnny Russell cuts it back in on the left. You see him weaving down that right-hand side. Splits a couple more. Steve Clark able to get on the rebound there. But even Escobar coming up a little bit limping after that last play and that turnover.
When you talk about Griffin Dorsey, does it help that Houston have a centre-back, often in Franco Escobar, a player who's played at centre-back so often, that can tuck in and play three at the back as Dorsey pushes forward?
I think anything with the back lines these days in any club in MLS, you have to have some of that rotation.
There is Dorsey again. Offloads. Here's Amin Bassi. Coco Carrasquilla lofts it toward Hector Herrera. Alan Pulido, so effective in holding the ball up for Sporting Kansas City. If you wayside, turn it over once more.
And just talking real quick about the back line for Houston, but about any back line in MLS, you have to have some of that rotation, that sliding, that covering, that balance. So having Escobar on the left back position, but able to tuck inside and help out defensively is key for this Houston Dynamo side to allow Griffin Dorsey to push higher up the field when they have to find that balance and slide. He's got Johnny Russell on his side too.
Yeah.
He can't move too far.
That'll be a battle tonight. Franco Escobar, the Argentine, and Johnny Russell, the Scot. Here's our tour for Escobar. 6 seasons in Major League Soccer for Franco Escobar. 2 MLS Cups, 2 Open Cups, Supporter Shield, Campeones Cup. Not bad at all. A winner everywhere he's been, with Atlanta, LAFC, and now Houston. Hector Herrera. Escobar has a massive Lionel Messi tattoo across his right thigh. Franco Escobar from Rosario, former Newell's Old Boys player. Bassi flicks it on. Artur. Quiñones wants a hit from distance. Oh! That was not far away.
How about the shape on this left-hand side, though, for Houston Dynamo? We talked to Ben Olsen about this, the freedom, the creativity, the ability of these players to work and find themselves, to find the space. Quiñones has been so good in such tremendous form. Look how he strikes his ball. It's just knuckling. Forces Tim Melia to dive for it as it goes wide right, but I love talking to Ben Olsen about the shape, the left-hand side, the movement, the fluidity of that tack, the give and goes. He's like, that's not coaching. This is just, guys, this is relationships that they've built to find that creativity together.
Quiñones, lovely first touch. In a battle tonight with Jake Davis, a 21-year-old right back for Sporting Kansas City. Amin Bassi. Herrera. Oh, lovely pass for Carrasquilla. Dorsey. This will be a corner kick to Houston. Deemed surplus to requirements at Toronto. Former youth player for Colorado as well. The former Hoosier, Griffin Dorsey, has been next level this season.
You could just hear the crowd. They have been longing for these playoff games back here.
Herrera on the left foot. Away by Gadi Kinda. Beautiful from Bassi, cut off though by Leibold. When talking about the season Hector Herrera has, it's impossible not to look at last year. Came in mid-summer from Atletico Madrid, a lingering hamstring complaint, and he's open about the fact that he had the World Cup on his mind and making sure he was fully fit and fresh for that. We've seen a different Hector Herrera this season.
Completely different, and Ben Olsen, I think, really kind of put it on him at this moment, starting this season as he took over as the head coach. You can see the Sporting Kansas City playoff record on the road, not too great, but Hector Herrera, you look at what he has done coming into the season, and Ben Olsen challenged him. He challenged him as a veteran to come in and lead this team by example, by his energy, by his quality, step into Houston and take this season on. He's done just that. It's been fun to see him on the field because you can tell he's enjoying himself, the style of play, the quality of play. This whole team is. You can just sense it.
17 assists from the central midfielder, ahead of players like Lucho Acosta, Carlos Hill in the assist category this season. Sviatchenko.
He said it himself, I'm not going forward as much as I used to. I'm not going to score goals. I want to be the person that creates, that orchestrates. And he just finds those little pockets of space to sit, find the pass, and then I mean, look at that. Just opens his hips, one touch, kind of lifts his foot up so it's not so much pace on it.
Bassi turns it over. Kinda. Here's Daniel Shallowy. Pulido. Shallowy has it again. Too many bodies back for Houston. Franco Escobar now at pace. Quiñones. Nelson Quiñones has been close already. Parried, second bite at it. The Sporting Kansas City survive for now. This is relentless from Houston. Hector Herrera, back heels for Carrasquilla. And Ache, I think, knew he was in an offside position.
Quiñones has been a real handful for the youngster Jake Davis so far, cutting it back on his right foot, and he is trying to curl it to that back post. And it's Corey Baird just waiting. He's taking that position, knowing that rebound is coming right at him. Just can't put it away. Well done in the end by Fontas, but back to the point about Corey Baird, I mean, that is also something Ben Olsen said. We have got to execute our opportunities. You are not going to get a whole lot of chances in games like this. You have got to put those away. Corey Baird's going to want that one back.
That's been the narrative coming into this game. Two really, really impressive sides that it's hard to separate the two, Kindra. But one aspect is that Alan Pulido has been scoring this season. Comeback player of the year in Major League Soccer. Do Houston have that out-and-out striker? Well, Corey Baird will tell you, he's 14 goals in all competitions this campaign. Maybe he'll regret that one from close range. He'll want that back. Herrera, Bassi, Escobar for Hector Herrera, who can hit them. A fine step from Leibold. Radoya. Shallowy, oh, there's space here. Johnny Russell, Sporting Kansas City's captain. Russell on the left foot. Drags it straight into the arms of Steve Clark.
And he knows it too. And this, just a quick little breakout from Sporting Kansas City. And you see the run continue on the left-hand side by Leibold as well. But Johnny Russell wide open in space. He's not going to get much better of an opportunity than that. He takes it back on his right. Too strong of a touch. Because he had him beat. He had him turned around. Mikhail Pulido kind of making the trailing run as well. That's that transition, though. That's that transition game that Peter Vermees speaks so highly of with the Sporting Kansas City side. And Ben Olsen said they have got to find a way to defend that, to be better in possession.
Look at the numbers in the postseason between Houston and Kansas City. Sporting Kansas City with that one victory. That came in 2013. What did Sporting Kansas City do that year? They went on to win it all on that frigid night against RSL. And that 2013 season Houston Dynamo picked up 51 points, the same number they've picked up this campaign, their best in a decade. Dorsey always looks happy, doesn't he? Always got that smile on his face. Nikaya. Escobar.
Look at the shape here by Sporting Kansas City defensively. It's Gadi Kinda who's pushing up a little higher. Polito dropping in. But they're content with this line of confrontation about the halfway line. Picking and choosing their moment to press.
Crazy possession statistic here, 12 minutes in. Sporting Kansas City, as you mentioned, Kidder, they won't be too concerned by those possession numbers, knowing what they have on the counter-attack in Shallowy and Russell.
Yeah, and I mean, it's about execution with the possession that you do get. It's not about how much time of possession you have as much as it is what you do with it.
Dorsey under duress. Polito. Instant press from Houston. The tenacity you need here in the MLS Cup playoffs. Artur, an MLS champion from his time with the Columbus Crew. It really was the first major off-season signing for Houston during the last off-season. Actually re-signed with the Houston Dynamo last month to a new deal. He's been that impressive alongside Hector Herrera this season. Sloppy from Herrera. Back by Dorsey. Here's Gadi Kinda. Fresh off international duty with Israel. Played and scored in a victory over Andorra just this past Tuesday. So it's been a busy week for Gadi Kinda. It seemed to be a big decision for Peter Vermees. Do you go with Tommy or Kinda in that midfield? He's gone with Kinda tonight.
Yeah, and two very different looks. I mean, I think both players bring you different qualities. Gadi Kinda, even as Ben Olsen called him, he's got a little spice to him. You know, you got to put an extra number wherever he is. You have to be aware of where he is on the ball at all times. With his clever movement.
Turned over and away go Houston. Carrasquilla. Fine tackle from Leibold. Johnny Russell is in an onside position. He's inside his own half. Russell now has the run of Polito. Comes inside. Finds Leibold. Shallowy. Here's Remy Voltaire. Andrea Fontas for Leibold. Such experience throughout this Sporting Kansas City side. 7 of the 11 in their 30s. It does include Tim Leibold, who turns 30 on Thursday. A sentence that's very difficult to say.
I was just going to say, you did that on purpose with all those THs.
I really did.
Really testing yourself tonight. Right out of the gate. That's a couple times now both clubs have had turnovers, but the opposition hasn't capitalized. A diagonal ball that is wasted possession by Sporting Kansas City. A couple incomplete passes where the other team reads it well, but then can't convert and then keep possession themselves. I always say the most important pass is the first one out of possession. Once you win possession, you've got to keep it in the next pass to get your team time to transition into attack. You can see Hector Herrera, look how deep he's dropping now. Still being involved, dropping a little bit deeper.
Herrera for Dorsey. Keep ball for Houston. Carrasquilla. What a sublime year it's been for Coco Carrasquilla, both for his country and for his club. He's become the man, says Ben Olsen for Panama. He certainly was so in this latest international break, as His Panama side dismantled Costa Rica 6-1 on aggregate in the Nations League. But we're looking for the best out of Carrasquilla tonight. And of late, we haven't really seen it.
Yeah, you know, the last couple games, and admittedly so, Ben Olsen said, Carrasquilla maybe just pressing a little bit, making uncharacteristic mistakes. He's his best when he plays simple. 1-2 touch, you find the pass, and then you find the next one. You get the ball, you find the next one. Tucks inside in those little pockets of space. But he carries a lot of pressure when he comes back from international duty, being the man for Panama, playing more as a 10 or a forward there.
Oh, lovely play from Houston. Franco Escobar now on his left foot, pulls it back. Oh, it's a chance! And Quinones goes with the left foot and drags it wide.
Every single time he's tried to beat Tim Millie on that back post. Last time he curled it with the inside of the right boot. This time he takes it with the left. It's a tough angle to curl it around the keeper and inside the post. Escobar, what a run on the inside. Instead of overlapping, he runs on the inside. That one was always going wide by Quinones.
How concerned should Peter Vermees be here 18 minutes in?
I think he should be real concerned with the left-hand side of Houston right now. I mean, here we put so much emphasis on the right-hand side for Houston with Griffin Dorsey taking advantage, Leipold in his first minutes back, and Carrasquilla tucking inside and being effective. But it's been Quinones all night long against a young player in Jake Davis, who's been so good on the season. Most consecutive starts by anybody on this Sporting Kansas City side.
Yeah, 27 straight starts for Davis since coming into the side on April 29th. Central midfielder converted to right back in a battle tonight, but here go Sporting Kansas City and Gadi Kinda! Deflected wide. Corner kick, Sporting Kansas City.
And some conversations going on with Houston right now about that turnover. Look at Hector Herrera is having a conversation as well, but Ziachenko, there's a double there, and it comes right off the foot of Artur. Just can't keep it, and Gadi Kinda is so good. We talked about him being spicy, a little bit cheeky, just picks it right off the foot.
Johnny Russell with the in-swinger. Dorsey away for now. Voltaire, back for Davis. Houston's defensive line pushed up straight away. Quick to reorganize. Foul committed.
That's Arturo just kind of putting Hector Herrera in a tough spot there. That bouncing ball coming at him.
Mikael, former Atletico Mineiro player, pressed with Dynamo 2. And keeping a player like Tine Shadevic on the bench, with his partnership thriving alongside Ziachenko. With the press this time. Offside flag is raised on Quinones.
Both coaches just right on the corner of their technical area. A combination of barking out orders and constructive criticism and clapping and thumbs up. You can just tell the intensity of this match.
Home turf has been a fortress. 12-2-3 all-time in playoff matches for the Houston Dynamo.
Well, just this year, they're 8-1 in elimination games with all the combination of Leagues Cup, US Open Cup. They have found a way to win in difficult moments, in under-pressure situations. Ben Olsen felt like that was going to help them in this moment. Help them in games like this. Especially now that we are in single elimination playoffs.
That's exactly it. We will have a winner tonight. Another foul committed by Hector Herrera here.
Just a sloppy touch gets away from him. He ends up colliding.
So if tied after 90 minutes tonight, we will have extra time, 2 15-minute periods, followed by penalty kicks if needed, to separate Houston and Sporting Kansas City. Sviatchenko under duress. This one's still in play. Brilliant battling from Daniel Shallowy. Houston with that confidence to play it out of the back now. One back by Artur. The contrast is so stark from last season with Houston. The 4th worst team in Major League Soccer. A measly 36 points collected, Kindra, in an 18-loss MLS season. When you think about that, versus this year, 4th place finish in the West, 51 points. It's their best since 2013. Lamar Hunt US Open Cup win, and they've secured the CONCACAF Champions Cup place for next year.
And it wasn't overnight. I mean, this was something Ben Olsen had to build. He had to build it quickly. 17 new players coming into this roster on the season. Build the confidence, build the belief in the group, put them in the right positions to succeed, to best utilize these players.
A strong challenge there. You could hear Tim Leibold, Bundesliga veteran, formerly of Stuttgart, Nuremberg, and Hamburg over in Germany. Throw in KC. Kept in play, and Johnny Russell is attacking this. Escobar cushions it beautifully for Herrera. Amin Bassi wants the free kick and gets it. Amin Bassi, a former teammate of Remy Voltaire, in a midfield battle tonight with teammates over at Nancy in France. It is a double-header tonight here on Apple TV. Can Seattle topple MLS champs LAFC tonight? What a match, Kindra, that promises to be after hours this evening. Turnover once more. Sporting Kansas City struggling, but they have it back now with Shallowy. Shallowy cuts inside, goes for the hit himself. Always rising.
And right now, again, the turnovers are just crushing both of these teams. It's like nobody wants the ball. There's a turnover there, but they win it back as Houston can't keep it on the first pass out. And Shallowy is so effective. He picks up the pace with the ball at his feet, driving forward, asking questions of the two center backs who've been so good for Houston.
Daniel Shallowy has been so good. A goal and an assist in both games against St. Louis in round 1 of the playoffs. Escobar cuts inside, goes to ground. Shallowy's numbers, only the legend Preki has more playoff goals for Kansas City than Daniel Shallowy. Only Graham Zusi has more assists. Remarkable numbers produced by the homegrown Hungarian Daniel Shallowy.
He told us before the wild card match he didn't want the season to end because he felt like he was just starting to play his best soccer, his best football at that point in time. And here they still are playing. Knocking off St. Louis, winning that wild card game, sitting in the Western Conference Semifinal.
The only lower seeded team to win in the round 1 best-of-3 series. As Artur looks for that big pass again. They look for Coco Carrasquilla. Leibold. Rushed off the ball, we play away, says referee Guido Gonzalez Jr. Nelson Quinones. And Jake Davis puts it out of play. Sviatchenko. Flicked on by Herrera. Redoya goes to ground. Free kick, Kansas City.
Cheeky little back heel there by Hector Herrera. Carrasquilla just can't quite get to it.
Yet another foul, though, committed by Hector Herrera.
I think he was a little upset that the foul didn't come the other way on Carrasquilla. He felt when the step on the foot came.
Now, Danny Rosero broke his nose in that match against St. Louis, the final match. Peter Vermees says that has been one of the major positives of this 3-week break for Sporting Kansas City, is getting Rosero back fit and ready to go. Artur. It seems very uncharacteristic. Some of the mistakes, some of the turnovers that we're seeing from both of these teams.
Yeah, and you just wonder if there's just a little bit of sloppiness, some energy, some adrenaline pumping.
Quinones, the battle of the 21-year-olds on that side against Jake Davis. Amin Bassi, away by Leibo. First to it is Alan Pulido.
How deep is Alan Pulido right now, though? We talked about his effectiveness, his efficiency, and his movement, but I'm still not convinced that Peter Vermees wants him dropping that deep to find the ball.
Effective, though, winning it back for Sporting Kansas City. Pulido is forward now, as Shallowy has it. We had extra time and stoppage time drama in yesterday's games as Cincinnati and Columbus booked their place in the Eastern Conference Final. A low-scoring night, full of drama, though, as Jake Davis has it. Nelson Quinones, quick to help out for Houston. And that will be a goal kick.
Stride for stride with Jake Davis. You even see the double coming over by Escobar if he does get beat. Davis just looking a little frustrated as he tries to go 1v1 down that right-hand side.
Wayward pass from Mikael. Sporting Kansas City will take it quickly. Pulido. Into a tough area, and Kinda can't keep it. Hector Herrera. 3 World Cups while playing for Mexico. Over 100 caps as Quinones wants a race with Davis once more. Bassi. Poor pass. Put off by Leibo, who finds Kinda. Tim Leibo. This one falls kindly for Johnny Russell. Russell clips it inside. And this one flicked on by Sviatchenko, looking for Clark, resulting in a corner kick to Sporting Kansas City.
Just tries to clip it up over the top. Sviatchenko, a player that Ben Olsen so high on, acquired him earlier in the season. He's been rock solid in that center back position. Said he's just been everywhere, done everything, winning trophies in Europe, every level. A little sloppy on that last header, but a huge addition to Houston.
Russell from the corner again. There is Sviatchenko with the header. Escobar again, and this time it's Dorsey who'll clear his lines. Jake Davis helping out on the left-hand side. Baird flicks it off for Herrera. Here's Coco Carrasquilla. Nelson Quinones has time and space now. Up against Voltaire. Few step overs from Quinones, pulls it back, and nobody there for Houston.
Voltaire did just enough right there to not allow Quinones to get that shot off, as we've seen his last few possessions.
He's really grown this season, Nelson Quinones. 4 goals in the regular season. He said that Hector Herrera has been instrumental in his growth. As Dorsey has it now. Dorsey cuts inside onto his left foot. Shot blocked. Carrasquilla. Hector Herrera goes for it! Didn't bend enough for Hector Herrera, but Houston edging closer.
But how about the ball by Carrasquilla? He just lifts it over the defender's foot to find Hector Herrera sitting on top of the 18. He drives it forward, beats one, and right here, just enough to get through that little gap. Herrera going for that right-hand side, trying to curl it in. Can't beat Timilia, goes wide right. But I think right there you can see Carrasquilla when he does decide to take a player. When he takes a couple added touches, Ben Olsen said use it sparingly, use your little pieces of magic in special moments. It doesn't have to be every possession.
I mean, Bassi flirts with a shot from distance. Carrasquilla offloads, and Sporting Kansas City can't keep the football. Artur for Quinones. Offloads for Herrera all the way across the 6. A teasing ball, nobody there to pounce. Dorsey in a battle with Kinda. And Griffin Dorsey wins the free kick.
This is Griffin Dorsey just taking it upon himself to drive forward with the ball, drawing the contact. Gadi Kinda not happy with the foul. But that is Griffin Dorsey's side to have. There's a reason why Carrasquilla tucks inside. It opens up that space for Griffin Dorsey to make those runs.
Shell Energy Stadium would erupt if Houston can bag an opening goal here. Herrera, low delivery, flicked on by Coco Carrasquilla. Tim Melia using all the experience in the world. 37 years young now, just taking his time to put this one back in play, allowing his teammates catch their breath, reorganize. It's been all Houston in the past few minutes. Here is Dorsey. Says he wakes up every single day dreaming of playing for the US men's national team. Quite open about his aspirations, and you've got to think that a call-up isn't too far away. Especially if Serginho Dest keeps doing what he's doing. Herrera. Quinones flicks it back, looking for Herrera. There's too much on it. What are Houston lacking in the final third right now?
Just quality. I mean, Quinones has been the most dangerous threat going forward in that final third. He's consistently coming in from that left-hand side and tucking in. He's found some opportunities, but you have to have some dangerous plays coming from the middle of the pitch. A little bit of a disconnect. A few times Bassi has gotten the ball centrally, and he's looking for Barrett up top. So just kind of occupy one of the center backs. Maybe stick his butt in there, hold it, shield it, lay it off to someone making a run on top of the 18, but oftentimes Barrett is peeling off to try to find the run on the back post. Just a little bit of the disconnect for Houston in that final third.
Dorsey turns beautifully. Carrasquilla. Cross deflected. Corner kick, Dynamo. And the referee overturns that decision, and it will be a goal kick to Sporting Kansas City. Ben Olsen guided DC United to 6 playoff appearances, 6 different years, I should say, throughout his tenure. And you're looking at the coaches here tonight, you're looking at 1 and 2 in terms of the longest tenures at a club in MLS history. Peter Vermees in his 15th season. Ben Olsen had 11 seasons at the helm at DC United. Taken over back in 2010 at just 33 years of age. Quinones. Dorsey. Loves that move, Griffin Dorsey. Corner kick, Houston Dynamo. And Griffin Dorsey is firing up the crowd here at home.
This is what we just talked about. This is his side to have. Carrasquilla vacates that space. He tries to drive it in and find the feet there of Corey Baird, but he also had Escobar on that back post. He has an opportunity to pick his head up, and now you've got Hector Herrera sitting over this one, standing over this one, excuse me.
Hector Herrera delivers with the left foot. It's there!
Franco Escobar. Takes his moment here and rises up, flicks this on perfectly. In traffic, oncoming. Hector Herrera puts it on a platter. What a header by Escobar. Houston Dynamo going up in front of their fans, in front of the supporters. 1-0 lead at home.
He's not a big goal scorer, but he's a scorer of big goals. Known as Playoff Franco during his time with Atlanta United, it's Escobar with the breakthrough here in the Western Conference Semifinal. A brilliantly guided header past Tim Melia. And this is exactly what the Houston Dynamo fans were craving. Now it's over to you, Sporting Kansas City. Gadi Kinda with that quick pass for Alan Polino, in on goal, Polino! Still there for Shallowy, off the line! And Shallowy and Sporting Kansas City won a penalty. Was it a handball on the line? We play away for now. Daniel Shallowy will take his time here. As a referee, Guido Gonzalez Jr. consults with Caroline Chenard, our video assistant referee.
It looks like a handball to me. The left arm by Zviachenko. He's trying to cover on the line, and he's sliding to the near post. It looks to me that it does hit his arm below his shoulder on the inside of his left elbow. If this does end up a penalty, what a response from Sporting Kansas City after just allowing that goal. It's a long look, isn't it? See Steve Clark just hustling to get back in.
A massive decision here. Mere seconds after Houston had taken the lead through Franco Escobar. And the decision is no penalty. play away. Controversial moment here in this game in the 43rd minute. It was not a clear and obvious error from our referee, says our video assistant referee. And it's Sporting Kansas City that are still trailing by a goal to nil. Davis pushes it down the line now for Johnny Russell. Mikael plays it off Russell.
Here's a look that I thought was relatively decisive, that it was a handball. As you see, Shallowy, and it looks like I see his left bicep kind of flop. I don't know if that's the right word. It looks like it hits the inside of his left arm and comes down. Doesn't matter. No penalty. Play on.
Massive decision.
You can look at that two ways. Sporting Kansas City is going to feel a little rejuvenated that they created that chance.
Or can Houston go and add a second now? Quinones. Corey Baird. Back for the Colombian winger. It was Alan Pulido that missed that gilt-edged chance, really bearing down on goal.
That's true. We kind of drifted away from that.
Sviatchenko.
The fact that Pulido could have taken that shot one or two touches earlier. He kind of cut it back in traffic. Maybe tried to beat one too many to get back on that right foot. The build out actually for Sporting Kansas City to get to that opportunity was really well done.
Nice ball to the feet of Alan Pulido. Dorsey with the challenge. Houston, the better side. But it's not really close, really, is it, in the first half?
No, and I think they've had the better of the opportunities, the better of the possession. They've scored the goal. They're up 1-0 at home, but at the same time, they've had some sloppy turnovers. They've had some mistakes. Sporting Kansas City just not done well enough to take advantage.
Pulido. Emmanuel Lodoya. Russell tucks inside, creating the space for Davis. Jake Davis. Brilliant step there from Sviatchenko. Oko Karaskia can't keep it, and anywhere will do for Sviatchenko. Falls for Bassi. Now Baird. 2 minutes of additional time here at the end of the first half. Here's Griffin Dorsey. Dorsey offloads. Amin Bassi! And Amin Bassi knows just how close that was.
This once again though created by Griffin Dorsey, 1v1, a little step over to create the opportunity to get the ball to Amin Bassi, making that central run. I think we're gonna see a lot more of that as the night goes on, especially if Leibold stays out on that pitch in that left back role. I find it hard to believe that he's 90 minutes fit. It's just gotta be nearly impossible.
Roger Espinoza, the veteran, is on the bench. Someone who has played at left back before. Played there in an FA Cup final for Wigan during a 2-year stint over in England. Karaskia for Artur and Herrera now. The onus is on Sporting Kansas City to win the ball back. Trailing in this game to a Franco Escobar header. Quinones. Bassi. Nice ball to Baird. Has Hector Herrera if he wants him. And finds Hector Herrera. Amin Bassi in space. Offloads for Karaskia! What a massive cushion that would have been right before the break.
Houston trying to capitalize here just before the half. All the numbers flying forward.
Halftime whistle blows here at Shell Energy Stadium. Escobar with the only goal. but a controversial decision that goes in favor of the Houston Dynamo. No penalty given to Sporting Kansas City after the ball did hit the arm on the line of Eric Sviatchenko. A lot to discuss in this game and a lot to ponder for Peter Vermees. Sporting Kansas City need a big halftime team talk here, Kendra.
Yeah, they're going to have to revitalize their efforts here in the second half and find something going forward in that attacking third. Polito has got to find a way to get on the ball.
We'll break this one down and we will look ahead to tonight's match between Seattle and LAFC. Here at the break in Houston, it's the Dynamo that lead by a goal to nil.
When your money's good, you feel good.
Don't be afraid to catch fish.
Chime, the #1 most loved banking app.
This time of year, there's one workshop on everyone's mind. The one that spends the whole year making toys and gifts. The Home Depot Kids Workshop, teaching those who will one day build their own homes and communities that doing is a gift you can share with everyone. Happy holidays from the Home Depot.
I was dancing when I was 12. I was dancing when I was out. I danced myself right out the womb.
It's not just designed to look good. It's built to command attention. It's not just a comfortable interior. It's a quiet refuge. They're not just headlights. They light the way forward. The fully electric Audi Q8 e-tron.
Welcome to the Halftime Report presented by Audi. We are in downtown Houston, Texas tonight, and it's the Dynamo that lead on home soil thanks to Franco Escobar and a header in the 39th minute. A look back at the first 45 alongside Kindred D. St. Aubin. My name is Kevin Egan, and this was Johnny Russell on the attack here early, meandering his way through and creating that opportunity.
Well, in that first one, you're thinking, uh-oh, this is going to be a long day for Escobar with Johnny Russell coming at him 1v1, but then it flipped the script. Houston Dynamo on the front foot. They were forcing Sporting Kansas City's outside backs to stay home, in particular Quinones, all over the youngster Jake Davis on that left-hand side. You see him here again, cutting it in on that right boot. He's trying to curl it into that back post. Corey Baird just cannot put that one away. Houston Dynamo couldn't find one early.
Alan Polito here holding up the ball, trying to keep possession, and this would fall kindly for Gadi Kinda. A deflected effort that was so close.
Well, and Kinda just opportunistic there, picking the ball right off of Artur's foot as they went for the double team. And then Carrasquilla trying to work his little bit of magic there, chipping the ball right over the foot of Polito to find Hector Herrera, just loitering on top of the 18. But here it is, the corner by Hector Herrera.
And Franco Escobar. He scored an MLS Cup 2018 against the Portland Timbers. 2 in that playoff campaign, playoff goal the following year, and here he is again in this single elimination match, producing the goods for Houston. But for a second, we thought that the game would be level straight away. The chance for Polito, but then this, the claim for a penalty, Kindra, and you think it's a penalty?
I think it's a penalty. I think it hits the arm. You can see the inside of the left bicep. I think when you're on the goal line like that, you see it just drop down. He's shuffling to the near post. Instead, no goal, no penalty.
Decision goes in favor of Houston, and Houston will go again. Nearly bag a second goal here. Herrera pulls it back. Bassi for Coco Carrasquilla, and he drags it wide. A raucous crowd here at Shell Energy Stadium enjoying this Western Conference Semifinal. These are the numbers at halftime, and they really do reflect a dominant Houston performance.
A dominant Houston performance, not just the amount of possession. When you look at the total number of passes, Houston Dynamo just finding a way to ping the ball. Sporting Kansas City sort of content to sit back.
Well, the top scorers for each team are presented by Audi, the official vehicle of Major League Soccer. For every goal scored during the Audi MLS Cup playoffs, Audi will contribute $2,000 to support MLS academies through the Audi Goals Drive Progress Initiative. These are the goals through the playoffs, and again, we send our well wishes to Logan and Denbay. Scored the first 2 goals of his professional career here in these playoffs, and tears his ACL against St. Louis. Well, join the legend, 8-time Ballon d'Or winner Leo Messi as he embarks on his historic next chapter with Apple TV Plus's new documentary series, Messi Meets America. Follow along Messi's journey as he takes North America and Major League Soccer by storm, ushering in this new era with his Inter Miami teammates. The series is streaming now only on Apple TV Plus. We'll step aside here from Houston. It's a massive second half to come. High stakes. Who's going to qualify for the Western Conference Final?
Lunch?
Yes, please.
That'll be $23.
Your ad says it's free.
It is for our Economy Ultimate passengers who paid extra.
I'll just have water.
Okay, cash or card?
For water? Well, at AT&T, when we offer you our best iPhone deals, we guarantee it. Even on the new iPhone 15 Pro. Check it out, made with titanium.
We do have free movies with the purchase of headphones.
I'll just use my iPhone.
Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any iPhone with any popular plan. Guaranteed. Get iPhone 15 Pro on us.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road, as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters.
Travis, did you know you can get this season's COVID-19 shot when you get your flu shot?
2 things at once.
2 things at once! 2 things at once! I'll have 2 things at once, please. Now, back to 2 things at once. 2 things at once.
That's not 2 things at once.
Mom!
Travis, ask about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
How will I know where to start? Striving for more isn't just for the field, it's for life. Know more with RBC Wealth Management.
Welcome back to the halftime report presented by Audi. Houston lead by a 1-0 here in the first match of our doubleheader on this Super Sunday. We're going to take a look back at what happened last night in the MLS Cup playoffs. Dramatic scenes throughout. We go to Orlando Columbus first, and this moment in the 77th minute proved crucial. Rodrigo Schlegel given his marching orders there for that challenge, and this will be the opening goal of the game. Aiden Morris wins the ball back for Columbus, and inside the area, pouncing Christian Ramirez.
I said it earlier today, he's made a career of scoring goals just like that, making sure he's in the right spot at the right time, just taps it in on the back door. Lunging for that one, comes off the bench and puts that one away. Gives Columbus the late lead.
Gaesic was off his line here as Cucho would tuck it home. 2-0 Columbus. Wilfred Nancy's side so impressive. And it's all set up now as Columbus march toward the Eastern Conference Final. But who will they face? This was the match between Cincinnati and the Philadelphia Union. A depleted Cincinnati and Philadelphia squads, to be fair. Blake with a save here from close range on Brandon Vasquez. Aaron Bupenza would take a shot from distance here as well. Both goalkeepers called into action. Roman Celentano up the other end. Nominee for MLS Goalkeeper of the Year, palming this one away to safety. And this a hugely controversial moment late. Alvaro Barrial whips it in. And the decision here was goal. A lot of people felt Ian Murphy was in an offside position. Video assistant referee didn't feel it was a clear and obvious error, therefore the goal stands.
And that is such a tricky angle. As you look at the camera that's on the 18, it's a little bit deceiving if Murphy is in an onside position as the defender's arm keeping him on. Mosquera ends up with the goal, and Cincinnati ends up with the win.
So following our game tonight, attention will turn to Seattle. The Sounders, the most decorated side in Major League Soccer over the past decade, will try to topple the MLS champs LAFC. It's going to be a cracker, Kendra.
It is, and you know these two teams are always eyeing each other. This time Seattle gets to host LAFC, the 3 seed. But LAFC, Denny Mwanga just absolutely buzzing right now. Seattle's going to have something to say about it, along with that man, Jordan Morris.
The atmosphere tonight at Lumen Field will be electric as Mwanga, Vela and co head to Seattle. Our coverage begins 9:50 p.m. Eastern Time. Jake Zibin, Taylor Twellman on the call for that match. Do not miss out. It's live right here on Apple TV. Speaking of Taylor Twellman, have you checked out his podcast, Offside, yet? Because I certainly have, each and every week, and it's brilliant. This past week, Kendra, we found out that Peter Vermees used to work at Jiffy Lube.
Not only that, but they used to make a little extra money, I think, kind of doing their thing in that Jiffy Lube lane. But I'll tell you what, these podcasts with Taylor Twellman, he talked to every single coach in the playoffs leading into this weekend. You can't miss it.
Yeah, it's top class from Taylor, so do go and check it out where you get your Apple Podcasts. Franco Escobar, the difference so far as Houston leads by 1-0. Western Conference Final is at stake tonight.
Finding the right hotel just got easier. Compare and book on the app with Hotels.com.
It's not just designed to look good. It's built to command attention. It's not just a comfortable interior. It's a quiet refuge. They're not just headlights. They light the way forward. The fully electric Audi Q8 e-tron.
If working hard is essential to get where you want to be, you need something that gets you going and keeps you going on the path to your true potential. You need a spotter, a running mate, a loyal companion. You need Celsius. Every drop is essential. Celsius, essential energy.
We're in downtown Houston, Texas tonight. Shell Energy Stadium, the venue, as Ben Olsen's Houston Dynamo are 45 minutes away from booking their place in the Western Conference Final. This is the Supporter Cam, brought to you by Hotels.com. Find your perfect somewhere on the Hotels.com app. And this place is rocking tonight, Kendra.
It is, and they talked to Ben Olsen leading into this game is, what do you need to get these fans back in the building? He said, it's on us. We got to put the product out there. They're doing it tonight, and the fans have shown up. It is electric in this stadium.
Brilliant atmosphere as Franco Escobar put Houston a goal to the good with a glancing header, as Houston fans want to see the glory days return. Sporting Kansas City, I can tell you, have returned to the field and they're still waiting on Houston. Kansas City have been out here for a little bit by now.
Yeah, they've been out here for a few minutes. Even in the dark as the light show is going on, they're ready to go. Warm-ups off, sit near the center circle. They want to get the second half started.
Look at the influence of Hector Herrera in the first half. So smooth on the ball, instrumental in so much as he turns the ball over there in that first play.
Well, that's the thing, though, with him. I mean, he can just put this thing on a dime, and it's more about the weight of the pass. When he picks out the pass, it's got the perfect weight on it, whether it flips it up over the top, whether he finds the wide spaces, whether it's a through ball right down the gut. Hector Herrera just finds a way. And this one right here, he just sits in a pocket of space, completely unmarked on top of the 18. He doesn't have to move oftentimes to be open. And I think that's where you get that veteran quality in him, is you don't always have to be moving. Sometimes you just have to stand still in a pocket of space. Hector Herrera has done that a few times this season, in and around the 18. And then, of course, the service on the corner kick as well for the goal, for the assist.
Leads this game in touches and total passes. Passing tonight at 88%, Hector Herrera. And there is playoff Franco. Something you touched on earlier on in this game that began to be a trend was the attacks down the left-hand side.
Yeah, and you can look, Sporting Kansas City a little bit more even, but we wondered if Houston Dynamo was going to take advantage of the right with Griffin Dorsey going against Leipold, but instead, early on, it was Quinones. So effective on the left, 39%. You see it there for Houston Dynamo, taking advantage of Jake Davis.
The impressive Nelson Quinones and Hector Herrera hoping to preserve this lead as we get set to go here for the second half in Houston. Here we go. A place in the Western Conference Final is the prize. Houston Dynamo leading by a goal to nil. Sporting Kansas City. You gotta wonder what Peter Vermees had to say at halftime there, Kindred. Rosero now. Davis. Alan Pulido. Also possession to Miguel.
You know, just seeing Daniel Shalhoub chase a little bit there. He's a player that is always on the front foot, using his pace, likes to be in space, gets to the end line. He's been kept at bay for the majority of the first half. And I think that's because Griffin Dorsey was on the front foot. That is something Dorsey said this week. He said, look, if I have the ball, if I'm attacking, he's got to defend. Not just Shalhoub, but who's ever playing the left back behind him here today is Leipold. So Griffin Dorsey taking it upon himself to kind of take Shalhoub out of the game by his attacking.
Carrasquilla. Offloads for Dorsey. Flicks it inside. It's a good ball too. Tim Melia slightly off his line, and he certainly needed to be. An offside flag was raised, but we play away. Pass cut off. Well read by Arturo. Sporting Kansas City.
Oh.
Pass back to Tim Melia. Well dealt with. Corey Baird, the man down for Houston. Most productive season in the career of Corey Baird, 14 goals in all competitions.
And look at Rosero right here. And Corey Baird is going to turn and make that run to pressure the goalkeeper, knowing that ball is coming flighted from Johnny Russell. Rosero just goes in. I don't think there's anything malicious in it. It didn't look like a high elbow to me. It more looked like just an obstruction. He stopped in the place in front of the path of Corey Baird as Corey Baird's making that run. It doesn't feel any better if you're Corey Baird, but I don't think there's anything in it.
Corey Baird back up, and he commits the foul now on Fontas. 2018 Rookie of the Year, Corey Baird. An award won by his manager, Ben Olsen, back in 1998. Svinchenko, Karaskia, Artur. By Davis. Johnny Russell in that battle with Franco Escobar.
At some point, Sporting Kansas City has to take the game to Houston. They're trailing 1-0. They don't look like they have a whole lot of life in them going forward. They've had little bits and pieces and glimpses, but they have got to find a way to take the game to the Houston Dynamo, because right now it's just not lively enough. You don't have Johnny Russell on the ball enough. You don't have Shallowy in space. Jake Davis hasn't been able to get forward. All these things that have made Sporting Kansas City so good, especially in this run, we haven't seen it.
They scored 7 goals in their last 2 away games, Sporting Kansas City, including 4 at St. Louis in round 1. But St. Louis and the way they approach a game, very different to this high possession Houston team.
Well, I think too, I mean, and no knock on St. Louis, but they're high pressing all over the place. And at times Ben Olsen said maybe not at the right moments. They have to high press in the right moments, Houston Dynamo. They've got to be smart and when they go.
Nice build up here, Quinones. So impressive tonight. Bassi for Herrera. Nice ball to the feet of Bassi. Herrera, back for Bassi. Acres of space now for Griffin Dorsey. Karaskia, the Panamanian with the cross, filters all the way through. Herrera, Escobar. Artur, patient build up this from Houston. Oh, lovely 1-2 as Dorsey gets it back from Karaskia. Puts back onto that right foot, straight into the chest of Tim Melia. Russell for Shallowy. When you think Sporting Kansas City attack, you think Russell and Shallowy, and they just haven't been too involved tonight so far.
No, and that last time Johnny Russell dribbles the ball all the way across the field, and now he's still sitting centrally. He has not drifted back over onto that right side. Trying to get something going from an attacking perspective here.
May leave a little room here for Jake Davis. Alan Pulido. Adi Kinda. Leibold for Shallowy. Kinda. Daniel Shallowy with the cross. Better from Sporting Kansas City. Fontas. Remy Voltaire. Radoya across for Jake Davis. The referee deems that it's Alan Pulido that commits the foul. Free kick Houston. There are decent attacking options on the bench for Peter Vermees tonight, Kendra. Willie Agada on the bench, scored against Houston earlier on this season in their last meeting in September. Got the likes of Graham Zusi and Roger Espinoza to add experience. Here's Kinda.
Just a little sloppy.
Oh, lovely nutmeg.
Kansas City lucky to get that ball back, but almost a lazy ball by Shallowy in his own defensive third of the field.
Fourth foul from Hector Herrera tonight. What we do know after last night is MLS Cup, December 9th, will be hosted in Ohio. Whether it's Cincinnati or Columbus, yet to be determined. Whoever wins the Western Conference Final will travel east. The prize tonight, a place in that Western Conference Final to face either LAFC or the Seattle Sounders.
I'm just trying to figure out where Sporting Kansas City is losing the connection. Where does it need to go once they gain possession? There's just a disconnect. There's no fluidity in the middle of the pitch. It's okay to go long sometimes, but right now Alan Pulido isn't your hold-up target man. And if he is, Gadi Kinda and others are dropped a little bit too far behind. Where is the build-up coming through the middle of the pitch? Because your danger areas are Johnny Russell and Daniel Shalhoub in the wide spaces. They haven't even been able to kind of attract the attention in the middle to open up the space on the outside to allow them those channels. They just look a little discombobulated going forward.
Is that due to Houston pinning them back?
I think it's a huge piece of Houston and the way they're shifting and changing. They know that Sporting Kansas City wants to draw you all in on one side and then ping that diagonal ball or release somebody on the opposite side. Houston has a huge piece in this, a huge hand in this defensively, but some of it's just turnovers by KC when they have it.
Lovely pass there from Mikael. Carrasquilla looked to get it back to Griffin Dorsey. Quinones gets a lucky break here now. Nelson Quinones delayed on his decision making, but still has it somehow. Amin Bassi back for Franco Escobar. The chance goes a-begging for Houston. That has been the story of their season in so many ways.
Quinones just couldn't find an opportunity to get the shot off. Something we didn't see happen in the first half. He had plenty of chances and took them.
So dominant in so many games that they haven't picked up all 3 points because that lack of killer instinct for Houston. Just about got over the line on penalty kicks against Real Salt Lake in the third meeting in round one. Will they have that killer edge here in the final moments to get that 2-goal cushion? Herrera battling to win it back. Arturo overcooks the pass. He said he hasn't changed from his DC United days. Do you believe him?
I don't know. Marcelo Balboa thought otherwise. He asked him what's different about the Ben Olsen in Houston than the Ben Olsen in DC, but he did say he feels a little bit more energized. He stepped away for 2 years. He locked himself in a room and painted for a year.
And you're not joking when you say that.
Not joking. There's no hyperbole there. That's for real. I mean, I'm sure he came out of the room. He's got a family, but he learned how to paint. He went and became the president of an NWSL team. He just tried different things. He became a TV analyst for a bit. I'm pretty sure that's what convinced him to go back to coaching.
Lured to Houston by his longtime friend, Pat Onstead, Dynamo legend, GM here in Houston. And what a job Ben Olsen has done. Not just a top 4 finish in Major League Soccer, getting that home field advantage, but also winning the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup. And at Inter Miami, it was Griffin Dorsey with the winner that night. Belter of a goal. Amin Bassi was on target from the spot as well. Here's Escobar. Quinones. I mentioned some of the guys on the bench for Sporting Kansas City. What about Harry Shelton as an option with pace. You also have a player in Eric Tommy who Peter Vermees has talked about how direct he can be.
Yeah, and I think those are two players that are going to have to find their way onto the pitch. And you also reference Graham Zusi, who hasn't been able to get off the bench in some time.
Oh, chance here. It's Escobar. Franco Escobar just finds himself in these big-time moments in games. Maybe could have taken on the shot himself.
That's that execution that Ben Olsen talked about. You talked about that killer instinct. Ben Olsen talked about execution. You're only going to get so many opportunities.
Davis across to Quinones. Ache. Herrera. Quinones just delayed on the delivery. Corey Baird, the only man inside the box for Houston. Carrasquilla looking for Baird. Libo. Nice pass to Pulido. Shallow, he's off to the races, but Kansas City couldn't find him. Kinda. Nice pass wide now from Tim Libo. Alan Pulido! Knuckling toward that top corner. That wasn't far away.
Well, and he had to strike it just like that because he turns and he takes a look, he opens up his hips. And it's from distance. He knows he can't just drive it. There's 2 or 3 bodies in front. The shot will get blocked. So he's got to lift it, but it's got to dip and try to curl and find that top corner to beat the goalkeeper, Steve Clark. Didn't miss by much, but that's the first shot from distance we've even seen from Sporting Kansas City here tonight. Look at the line of confrontation now. Look at where the pressure's coming from. But can they step together and cut off those passing lanes and not allow an easy out? And there it goes.
Breaking the press of 4 Sporting Kansas City players. And it's Artur looking for the handball. That's a chance that goes a-begging for Houston on this occasion after breaking that press that you mentioned. Pulido foul. Alan Pulido in 2022, totally derailed by a knee injury. Out for 14 months in total, comes back with a bang. MLS Comeback Player of the Year. He's never scored in the MLS Cup playoffs. What a time to do it.
I'll tell you what, he's the type of player, though, he can be quiet all game, and he just needs one little moment to get this team on the board. He's kind of unassuming in his movement.
He had 3 assists in the series against St. Louis. Peter Vermees always so quick to talk about the attributes and every single quality that Alan Pulido brings to this team. Kinda. Just not on the same wavelength.
But take a look here again. They're setting up their line of confrontation. The pressure just on the edge of the 18. They did that last time. And one ball beat 2 or 3 of them to find Artur. Let's see how they step together and pressure here. If they're going to try and win this back and not get beat on the counter.
Houston will play it out of the back. Mikael to Quinones. Fine play from the Dynamo, who have it now with Amin Bassi. Carrasquilla has the run at Dorsey if he wants him. Herrera, a beautiful first touch. Tries to thread the needle. In for Corey Baird! And Tim Melia. That is a big-time save for Sporting Kansas City.
He read that one all the way, didn't he?
Herrera and Houston have it back. And Rosero With a fine pass for Adoya now. And away goes Sporting Kansas City as this game starts to stretch out a little bit. Daniel Shallowy. Shallowy! A rasping hit that was deflected, and Johnny Russell will allow this one to go out for a corner kick.
Amelia, big time save on that one. After that ball found its way through.
Kinda for Sporting Kansas City. Header away from Artur. Yeah, that may not be registered as a save in the stats, but that is a crucial intervention from Tim Melia.
Well, the way just goes to ground, picks it right off his foot, doesn't give up a rebound. Right on the edge of the 18, but now Sporting Kansas City with a little momentum, a little opportunity here. Can they keep it though?
Inspiration coming from their goalkeeper. They know that if they force an equalizer, they have the best shot stopper from penalties in MLS history on their team in Melia. Bassi goes to ground, free kick Houston.
Polito still down behind the play as well, but a little frustration, I think, on Sporting Kansas City's side when they're missing some of that possession in the final third. Just not on the same wavelength with some of the runs off the ball. You see oftentimes a player trying to break out, trying to go forward with pace, get in that quick transition moment, but just nothing coming of it.
There's the press from Sporting Kansas City. Libo. Not left with many options.
Look at where Johnny Russell finds himself now. I was just going to say he's switched sides with Shallowy. He slid over to the left. Shallowy's on the right.
Dumped forward and forcing Clark off his line. Steve Clark, the hero in the last game for Houston. The save from Diego Luna, crucial in the penalty shootout victory over RSL. Karaskia, back for Sviatchenko. Herrera in a battle with Rosero. About 25 minutes to play. Sporting Kansas City need to find that ingenuity. Carve open Houston, create those chances. Here's Gadi Kinda.
He's trying to work his magic in there on the ball, but he's got to find the right angle. So he has to take a few touches to find the next passing lane, to find the next open player, because there's just no movement off the ball. Polito's kind of standing centrally, somewhat easily marked by the two center backs. Johnny Russell staying wide on the left-hand side, trying to keep his lane. Just missing something. I think they need Eric Tommy in there. Just another element in the midfield that can go forward and join in.
Has a wicked strike in his locker, Eric Tommy as well. Sporting Kansas City, the best side in the Western Conference since May. An incredible resurgence, reborn after an awful start to the season without a win in their first 10 games, becoming the first team to qualify for the playoffs after such a run. Here's Dorsey, heavy touch, turned over. Kinda.
His head's on a swivel, but that's a long way to go.
Well played from Gadi Kinda for Johnny Russell. Beautiful close control from Gadi Kinda, but straight to Quinones. Jake Davis there to help out. Winning it back for Kansas City. Radoya. Fontes. Libo wins a free kick. And And a yellow card has been issued to Coco Carrasquilla.
Just caught Leibold a little bit on his way through.
Here's the left foot of Johnny Russell. Herrera's header away to Jake Davis. Lofted back inside. Flicked on for Johnny Russell. First time cross is a good one. Shallowy! And a massive save from Clark, but it's still there. Escobar goes to ground and Jake Davis collects. Flicked on by Radoja. Sviatchenko, anywhere will do. Puts it out for a corner kick to Kansas City. Steve Clark producing the goods in goal.
What a massive save by Steve Clark. Close range, parries that one away. Kansas City, though, with a spark and a substitution. Gadi Kinda, his day is done. Eric Tommy enters for Sporting KC.
An exhausting week for Kinda, who makes way as Eric Tommy, as he mentioned, is in. Like for like in that position. Tommy, vicious with the strikes from distance. Here we go from the corner. Filters back for Tommy. And the offside flag is raised. Let's go back to that Steve Clark save.
The best chance we've seen all night. That low-driven ball by Johnny Russell, and the first touch by Shallowy. It bounces up on him, but he still catches it cleanly. Right there, close range, through traffic. Steve Clark parrying that one to his left. Sporting Kansas City continued that pressure, tried to get a second chance on frame, just couldn't do it. But again, is there a little life for Sporting Kansas City? Shallowy back on the left, Johnny Russell slides over to the right, Eric Tommy central.
You just wonder, will nerves start to creep in for Houston as Kansas City starts to get a foothold on this game? Rosero battling, as is Bassi. A scrap in the midfield. Carrasquilla has it. Dorsey. Leibold puts it out of play. Tim Leibold, the ultimate professional, his teammates will tell you, but he's bound to be exhausted here in the 72nd minute after a groin injury that ruled him out for a few months.
It's crazy because he's one of the few that has continued to make the runs on the left-hand side, the overlapping runs, the inside runs, trying to get forward on the attack and still defending Griffin Dorsey. Lasted longer than I expected at game pace.
There's the press from Eric Tommy.
You see Fontes, he's urging his back line, his midfield to push together.
Here is Fontes. Former Danish international, Sviatchenko, dominant in the air. An awkward one for Rosero. And a crunching challenge that sees the free kick go in favor of Houston.
A little bit much from Leibold on that one.
'73rd minute from Shell Energy Stadium in Houston, Texas. The first match of our double header here tonight. Single elimination. If Kansas City can level it up, we will head to extra time. 2 15-minute, followed by penalties if needed. Herrera. Bassi combining with Carrasquilla. Now Griffin Dorsey.
I swear I just saw Escobar when the ball was on this near side starting to make a run forward and join in, and Ben Olsen waving his finger at him.
Quinones threads it. Corey Baird lofts it back for Griffin Dorsey on his left foot. Free kick Houston.
And just to finish that thought, that might be the other thing that we see going forward is the outside back staying home a little bit more. Corey Baird in an onside position. He runs that line, makes that run and stays in that line. Perfectly timed. Griffin Dorsey could have laid it off to Kurski. He's got Hector Herrera as well, but he saw his name in headlights. Goes for it himself. But keep an eye on Escobar and Griffin Dorsey. See if they continue to make those runs forward as the second half continues, or they stay home just a bit more.
Hector Herrera to whip it in. Free kick goes in favor of Sporting Kansas City. There's a nervy, eerie feeling that's crept into Shell Energy Stadium here. Just over 15 minutes to play. Alan Pulido, lovely combination. Here's Daniel Shallowy. Shallowy toward the byline. This goes off Tim Leibold for a goal kick.
Again, though, he's got the willingness to make that run. Leibold making a run late in the second half here. But you also had a trailing runner in Remy Voltaire on top of the box. We have the beauty of the vision way up here, but if he had dummied that, allowed it to find Voltaire on top of the 18, now Houston getting ready to make some changes.
Houston continue to play it out as Pulido presses. Sviatchenko goes long for Baird. Artur.
So good by Hector Herrera. Feels the pressure by Johnny Russell.
Quinones for Hector Herrera. Asking a lot of Franco Escobar. And now we will see a double change for Houston. Ibrahim Aliou and Brad Smith to enter. Fresh legs for Houston here as Corey Baird and Nelson Quinones. He legs at the field. Sviatchenko just coming over to have a little word here. Use that experience. Quinones has exited on the far side of the field. The former RSL and LAFC man, Corey Baird, may well have helped book a date potentially with his old club, LAFC. Ibrahim Aliou into the game alongside Brad Smith. Artur. Dorsey. As Ibrahim Aliou further forward goes to ground, and another yellow card will be issued. This time to Tim Leibold.
That's a big switch by Artur to find Griffin Dorsey on the right-hand side, and Leibold just goes diving in. Trailing leg right there, catches him. I wonder if he was going to take a touch out to the right-hand side. Aliou was making that run with those fresh legs. But a set-piece chance for Hector Herrera to stand over this one again.
Tense moments for Peter Vermees in Sporting Kansas City. The Mexican star, Herrera, over the ball. Whips it low. It's a teasing delivery. There's nobody attacking that near post.
Looked like Sviatchenko was trying to get to it. Maybe just got tripped up a little bit. Feet caught up right there. You see him near the penalty spot.
The crowd on their feet here in Houston. Hector Herrera to deliver. An awkward one. Aliou puts it back inside. Amin Bassi. They keep it with Artur. Herrera. Sprays it, looking for Coco Carrasquilla. Falls kindly and it's just wide. Sviatchenko with the snapshot.
Look at the way Hector Herrera just strikes at that ball to get service. A good challenge by Rosero, on Carrasquilla. Elbow catches him up high a little bit. Sviatchenko nearly puts that one away.
Winner of league titles in both Denmark and Scotland, with Midtjylland and Celtic as Eric Sviatchenko. The man down right now is their Panamanian star, Coco Carrasquilla. He's the 2023 Gold Cup best player as Panama went all the way to the final, losing 1-0 to Mexico. Carrasquilla starring against the US in a famous victory for Panama. This is 44th match in all competitions this season for club and country.
And that's something that Ben Olsen talked about, not just about the wear and tear and the amount of miles and energy put on his legs and his travel, but also just the difference and the pressure that he carries with him. When he goes and plays with Panama, now he is the man for Panama. He has such a contribution from him for them, from an attacking perspective, playing as a 10 or a forward. You see the collision there with Rosero. He goes to ground. Carrasquilla back to his feet now, but then he comes back to Houston Dynamo and he's got to kind of reset his brain. And even Ben Olsen said, hey, okay, now you're back, now you're here. Now we play different than what Panama does. We ask different things of you. And it takes a minute for you to kind of reset that as a player. He's done well here tonight.
Medical team of Houston Dynamo just want to make sure Carrasquilla is okay to continue. For now, Houston down to 10 men. We're inside the final 10 minutes. Leiball pushes it down the line for Russell. First time cross! Attacking at that near post, Alan Pulido. Pulido wants a corner kick. Goal kick, the decision.
That's the effectiveness, though, of Johnny Russell. He knows he's got to take that one time. Alan Pulido is there, making the run to the near post. Just can't redirect it on frame, but that first ball comes from Leibold on the left side, finding Johnny Russell, who doesn't even take a look. He just whips it in. A couple others getting warmed up as well for Sporting Kansas City.
Radoya pushes it forward. Sviatchenko away. Herrera. Here's Escobar. The referee will halt proceedings. Maybe have a little word here with Alan Pulido.
I don't think there's anything in it. Mikael actually kind of takes a look over his shoulder, sees where Pulido is running, and steps right into his path. And a whole lot of contact in it. Yeah, I mean, you see him take a look over his shoulder. He knows exactly where Polito is. Polito barely touches him, and Mikhail goes to ground. I don't think there's too much in it.
Wait for your picture, Peter Vermees. Here we see it. Willie Agata and Graham Zusi, the Sporting Kansas City legend, has not been on the field in Major League Soccer play since May. This is the return of the 37-year-old at what could very well be his final game for Sporting Kansas City.
You talked about bringing on experience, so you see Jake Davis trotting off the pitch, Graham Zusi stepping in as well as Willie Agata, but yes, has not been on the pitch as a substitute May 31st against Dallas. But you know what this guy's capable of, Graham Zusi.
Brilliant right foot as we see Willie Agata also come into the game. 3 goals this season, including the winner scored against Houston when the sides met in September. Missed a lot of the season with a stress fracture in his tibia that required surgery. Zusi also had a large spell out throughout the summer. Great to see Zusi back out on the field. Amin Bassi has made way for central midfielder Luis Caicedo. So both teams making changes. As Zusi plays it down the line, looking for Russell. The spring in the step of Franco Escobar. Kept in play brilliantly. Cross, a really good one. Ibrahim Aliou just attacking that near post, an awkward one for Tim Melia. Houston hanging on. The first half opener through Franco Escobar. Tense moments here in this Western Conference Semifinal. Eric Tommy. The header on from Russell. Here's Agata. Zusi's pass eventually finds Alan Polito. Tommy. Lodoya flicks it on, Leibold. Pushes it back inside. Artur under pressure. Lovely pass for Hector Herrera. Aliou looks for options. And it's Smith and Herrera tearing forward. Here is Hector Herrera. Carrasquilla. Aliou, low delivery! Oh, just wide! The offside flag is raised. Herrera thought he had come so close. Sporting Kansas City can't afford to waste any time. Tommy. Shallowy's delivery. Polito! And that's a chance.
That might be the best chance he'll see all night. He knows he's got to hit that one time. I don't think he had time to take a second touch. He kind of opens up his hips to catch it with the inside of the right foot. And doesn't quite catch it cleanly. Good running ball in by Shallowy. They tried to go quickly on that one, though, Sporting Kansas City. They didn't waste any time after Hector Herrera couldn't get on the end of the other one. Sporting Kansas City quickly out the other way.
You talked about bringing on Eric Tommy. You can see the difference that Tommy has made. He is very direct, as Peter Vermees alluded to. Has 13 assists this season as well, leading the team.
There's just a certain energy about the way he's playing, the spark, the step. The pep in the step, and I don't think it's just because he's come on as a second half substitution. He just plays in a different pace. I think Rodoya and Voltaire are very similar in the pace and the style they play. Eric Tommy is different, brings a different element.
Johnny Russell clips it into the box. Graham Zusi for Leibold. Shallowy gets it back. Andrea Fontas. And the free kick goes in favor of Caicedo and Houston. And it's time for Roger Espinoza to enter the fold. Another Sporting Kansas City legend across 2 different stints with the club. Winner with Wigan in the FA Cup during a brief stint away from Sporting Kansas City. Honduran legend in at left back now. Winning the header against Herrera. Pulido. Sprayed cross. Redoya collects. Wide for Zusi. We're in the final minute of the 90 here in Houston. It's now or never for Sporting Kansas City. Zusi back in play, lofted inside now, an awkward one for Carrasquilla to deal with. And there's the Sporting Kansas City urgency and press that's needed. Tommy. Espinoza. Shallowing, low cross, Alan Pulido, well read by Sviatchenko. Adam scouted. We've hit 90 minutes on the clock, and we will have 6 minutes of additional time here in Houston. Coco Carrasquilla doing all he can to keep possession. This is officially squeaky bum time here late, Kendra.
You have to explain to me what that is.
No thanks. Ball out of play.
I'll tell you what though, Sporting Kansas City has a sense of urgency right now, and I understand that. Always happens late in games.
Pulido keeps it in play. Shallowy probing. This one falls for Roger Espinoza. Espinoza whips it, takes a deflection. Falls kindly for Zusi. Deflected effort. A little bit of pinball inside the area. Wave after wave of Kansas City attacks expected now.
But then sometimes you wonder, where was the sense of urgency earlier? Why did it take till the 90th minute to get there for Sporting KC?
Oh, kept in play brilliantly from Tommy. And a good cross from Espinoza. The header always rising. You can be sure Clark will take his time.
Agata just couldn't rise over it and connect. A lot of this attack coming down the left-hand side from Sporting Kansas City. Plenty of service coming in. You just hope, if you can't catch something cleanly, if you're Sporting Kansas City, it takes a deflection on the way through. You get a handball, something, as they're putting the pressure on here late.
This is the first match of our double header here tonight on Apple TV. Seattle Sounders, LAFC up next. Hector Herrera. Coco Carrasquilla. Oh, beautiful from Carrasquilla, so well worked. Winding down these valuable seconds here with 3.5 minutes to play. Tim Melia racing to a ball boy. Get the ball back as quick as possible. Get it back in play. Ben Olsen kicking every single ball on the sideline. What an accomplishment this would be in his first season at the helm. Mikael strong in the air. Luis Caicedo quick to it. Johnny Russell battling, but Artur has it for Houston. The Mexican superstar, the veteran, doing all he can. Keep the ball. Make Sporting Kansas City chase. Dorsey now for Carrasquilla. Drifts inside. Johnny Russell wins it back. Polito. Tommy lets it roll. Shallowy looks up, puts it inside. Chance here for an equalizer. Blocked by Mikael. Was that the last chance of the game for Sporting Kansas City? And Agata up front.
What an opportunity for Sporting Kansas City. Mikael coming up with a big-time block. Eric Tommy makes a dummy run there, and as it finds its way through, Willie Agata has enough time to take a touch and let it drop.
Smith now tearing forward. Can Houston seal it? Cut off by Fontas. "90 seconds remain at Shell Energy Stadium. Herrera stays on his feet, keeps the ball, sprays it for Carrasquilla. Carrasquilla just inviting Dorsey forward. Dorsey inside, oh! Tim Melia! A heroic save that keeps Sporting Kansas City's chances alive, just about, as we reach the final minute of the 6th. Players flat out on their feet here. Carrasquilla heads toward the corner flag. Coco drifting inside, across the 6 and away by Zusi. But crucially, the Houston Dynamo have possession of the football and are seconds away from securing their place in the Western Conference Final. And listen to the roar here at Shell Energy Stadium. Corner kick awarded. And with that, Ben Olsen's side is almost there. All eyes on the referee now. The fans are on their feet in Houston. It's all over! The Houston Dynamo are headed to the Western Conference Final. Franco Escobar, the hero. And for the first time since 2012, a Western Conference Final awaits for Houston.
What a run for this Houston Dynamo side.
Incredible scenes throughout. And this is the moment of the match, presented by JCPenney. Where else were we gonna go? The winner, Herrera with the cross, Escobar with the header.
Escobar, 5'7", rises up in traffic, flicks it onto the back post and beats Tim Melia. 39th minute to put Houston on the board, and they hung on until the end.
Jubilation and relief, the sensations here in Houston. Book their place for next Saturday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Will they be headed to Seattle or to Los Angeles? We will find out tonight. This dream season and first campaign under Ben Olsen continues to roll on. Escobar, the match winner, as the Houston Dynamo advance. We'll be right back, folks, live here on Apple TV.
There are trucks, then there's the truck, GMC Sierra. Available with the V8 engine. The Super Cruise hands-free driving experience. And of course, the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. Not just any truck, the truck.
How will I know where to start? Striving for more isn't just for the field, it's for life. Know more with RBC Wealth Management.
Hi, it's Major League Soccer. No, you're looking for Beckham. I'm Beck. Noah Beck.
All right, team, it's the marketing plan for 2023.
Hey, everyone. Sorry I'm late. So I have this great idea. What do we think? Hi, it's Major League Soccer. Oh, hi, Mr. Messi. Yeah, please hold. Yeah, what's up? Hi, it's MLS.
Lunch? Yes, please. That'll be $23.
Your ad says it's free.
It is for our economy ultimate passengers who paid extra.
I'll just have water.
Okay, cash or card?
For water?
Well, at AT&T, when we offer you our best iPhone deals, we guarantee it. Even on the new iPhone 15 Pro. Check it out, made with titanium.
We do have free movies, with the purchase of headphones.
I'll just use my iPhone.
Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any iPhone with any popular plan. Guaranteed. Get iPhone 15 Pro on us.
It's been a long time since Shell Energy Stadium has been rocking like it is tonight. 1-0 victors over Sporting Kansas City, sending the Houston Dynamo to the Western Conference Final next Saturday night. Just incredible scenes throughout. Let's go back and check out the action from this pulsating match between Houston and Kansas City. Look at the highlights from this one alongside Kindred D. St. Aubin and Kevin Egan. Hector Herrera from the corner, and there's Franco Escobar with this clutch moment.
He just rises up at the perfect time to flick that header to the back post. It's a phenomenal service by Herrera. You see the spin towards the goalkeeper. Rosero's coming out to get it, but Escobar puts it away, gets to it first. Kansas City had some chances as well. Vyachenko, there was some question there. Was it a handball? They say no. That was right after Houston Dynamo had scored their goal. It would have really taken the wind out of the sail, but instead, Houston Dynamo maintained that 1-0 lead, and they continue on.
Not deemed a clear and obvious error by the video assistant referees. Sporting Kansas City then go on the attack. Johnny Russell, Kansas City's captain, inside for Shallowy. And this really was maybe their best opening of the game, that fall to Shallowy.
Well, it was Johnny Russell who one-times it to the middle to find Shallowy on the left-hand side. That time it's Shallowy finding Polito, who just gets the strike wrong. And as the game wore on in the second half, Shallowy found more and more space on that left-hand side to be effective for those services. Willia got on that one as he came on as a second-half substitute. Coco Carrasquilla finding Griffin Jorsey. Houston Dynamo finding a couple chances to continue to push on. Tim Ewing with a big-time save to keep it at 1-0.
So Houston all smiles when it's all said and done, advancing past Real Salt Lake and now Sporting Kansas City, booking their place in the Western Conference Final. A conference final for the first time since 2012. Who will they face? We're going to find out in a couple of hours' time, because LAFC are set to take on Seattle, in Seattle here in moments. And what a match that promises to be. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're only halfway through this doubleheader here this evening. Franco Escobar had himself a night, the match winner in Houston.
Ilie can win MLS Cup with this kick.
Game on the line. How do I make the smart choice? I remember what's worked and what hasn't. This goalie knows exactly where I'm going to shoot. He's smart, but hesitant. I'm not, or I'm right, all in. So let it fly.
Yes! What a smart choice by Ilie!
Continental, the smart choice in tires.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road, as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters.
Ready. I hope y'all ready. I hope y'all ready. I hope y'all ready. Yeah, we still lit.
This isn't just an ad for Captain Morgan. It's a clue. And this NFL season, anything could be a clue. Clue.
Clue.
Clue?
Clue.
Clue for what? Just follow the captain and see where it takes you.
Follow the captain.
New IHG One Rewards. 18 hotel brands. One loyalty program that lets you guest how you guest.
The goal for Ben Olsen at the beginning of the season was simply to qualify for the playoffs. He's blown those expectations and those goals out of the water, finishing in the top four, winning the US Open Cup, and here they are now, marching on to the Western Conference Final. 1-0 the result tonight. And who will they be facing is the question. Seattle or LAFC, the champions rolling into Lumen Field tonight, Kendra. What promises to be a blockbuster game.
Yeah, you know when Denny Bouanga is in the lineup that you're going to have your hands full, just finding a way to get on the end of service. This time it's Jordan Morris. You take a look at him as well, especially when he's playing more of a central role. These are two teams that seem to blossom in the postseason. We see it from Seattle just about every year. LAFC coming off their MLS Cup win last season in fine fashion. This is sure to be epic tonight, 9:15 Eastern.
It certainly is. Morris leading the line for Seattle. Bouanga for LAFC. Carlos Vela is in the starting 11, as is Giorgio Chiellini tonight for LAFC. This one is a huge clash. Jake Ziv and Taylor Twellman with the call here momentarily on Apple TV. Congratulations to the Houston Dynamo. This miraculous season continues under Ben Olsen. How far can they go? They're on the road from here on out. A Western Conference place and final awaits next Saturday night. We'll be right back.
Some people just know that the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Not one based on Paul. You don't want to ride with Paul. Or Sarah. Not today, anyway. And you don't want to rate based on Ben. He's got some important business to take care of. Why would you pay a rate based on anyone else? With Allstate, you're connected to a rate based on you.
This isn't just an ad for Captain Morgan. It's a clue. And this NFL season, anything could be a clue. Clue.
Clue.
Clue?
Clue.
Clue for what? Just follow the captain and see where it takes you.
Follow the captain.
Scan it quick! It's heavy!
Cheers for joining us tonight, folks. They'll celebrate in Houston, Texas tonight. advancing to a conference final for the first time since 2012. Sporting Kansas City beaten tonight by 1-0, the only goal coming from the head of Franco Escobar. So the first conference final on the eastern side of things is set, and it promises to be historic. A first ever Hell is Real conference final at TQL Stadium as Pat Noonan, Coach of the Year, takes on Wilfred Nancy and Columbus, fresh off an away victory over Orlando. Do not miss that game. Our coverage begins next Saturday, December 2nd at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Delighted you could join us here tonight. A memorable season for Sporting Kansas City comes to an end tonight at the hands of the Houston Dynamo. For Kindred D. St. Aubin and our entire crew, my name is Kevin Egan. Thanks a million for watching MLS on Apple TV. Now for other scores, highlights, and the latest news from around MLS, check out My Sports in the Apple News app. Congratulations to the Houston Dynamo, marching on to the Western Conference Final.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.